Hi everyone, welcome to next session in our ABAP learning series, and in this session we are going to learn ABAP data dictionary, that is also called as the DDIC. So first I will explain the details through this PPT, some theoretical part. After that I will log into SAP system and I will explain the DDIC object from the SAP screen. So let's first understand what exactly is DDIC, that is ABAP Data Dictionary. So DDIC is a central repository for all the database related objects. So metadata of all the database objects are stored in the DDIC. This means that we can use the data dictionary to create and manage the database related objects. And how to access the DDIC? As in our first ABAP program, first we navigate to SE38, we enter transaction code SE38 in the command field, and to that we created our first program. In the same way, to access ABAP DDIC, transaction code is SE11. And if you want to go through the menu path, it is Tools, ABAP Workbench, Development, and then SE11. This is a screenshot how the DDIC screen looks like if you enter the T code in the command field, that is SE11. Now let's see what are the different objects, different components are there in the DDIC. So in the DDIC, we can create and manage the objects like domains, data types, database tables, views, type groups, log objects, and search help. I'm going to explain all the objects one by one. DDIC is used to create and manage both the SAP standard as well as custom data objects. So what is meaning of SAP standard objects and the custom data objects? See, all the predefined objects by SAP like tables, data elements, domains, search help, views, all the predefined objects by SAP are called as the standard objects. See, SAP is ready to use product, right? Once the customer purchases the SAP, they do all the installation. So once all the installation is done, we get all the process ready. We just need to do customization. Okay, but the database tables, the screen designing, these all are ready. So all the objects which are created by SAP, we call them as the SAP standard objects. And now what are the custom objects? As a customer, whenever we are creating any objects starting with Z or Y, in ABAP program, in creating first ABAP program, I explained all the objects must start with Z or Y as a custom objects. So in DDIC also, any objects if you are creating, whether it is a tables, data elements, domains, here we can see all are starting with Z. So all those objects are known as the custom data objects. Fine. So SAP defined objects are standard objects, and as a consultant, any objects if we are creating, that we call as the custom objects. Now let's see what is the database tables. Tables are used to store the data in a structured format. Okay, it is a combination of rows and columns. So here for demo, I am just showing this small table here only with the 3 columns. So here we can see the country, product, and sales. Those are 3 columns of the table. Okay, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 records. So 4 records are 4 and the columns are 3. Like India, the sale of chocolate, and the sales. This is one record in this table. So whenever any transaction is done, we can get a new record in this table. So this is the general format of a table. Tables are used to store the data in a structured format. Now, what are different types of tables are there in SAP? In SAP, we can divide the tables in three types. First one is transparent table, second is pool tables, and third one is cluster table. As a consultant, if you're creating any database table, we always create only transparent tables. Pooled and cluster, those two are used by SAP only. So we deal only in the transparent tables. Fine. So transparent table, like whenever we create and activate any transparent table to the ABAP data dictionary, in the underlying database layer, see SAP architecture, I explained it is tree layer, right? First is like we can say the application layer, database layer, and first is presentation layer, that is local machine laptop. Second is application layer, and third is database layer. So whenever we create any custom table, transparent table with the SE11 in the underlying database table with the same name and same definition, a one-to-one relation table is created in the database. Okay, and as I explained, pool and cluster are used by SAP only. We don't create those tables. So what is pool table? So pool tables are used to hold the large number of small tables. Okay, customizing or system data tables. This means that it is used to hold a large number of small tables, whereas the cluster table are used to hold a few number of large tables. Here this is a collection of more tables but is small. Here it is collection of few tables but the large tables. So here we can see with this screenshot, like first we create one table to DDIC, and in the database with the same number of columns and definition, one table will get created. Okay. Second is pool table. Suppose we have two table tab A, tab B. So in the database layer, we can see a pool table like this. This is one table, inside that it contains tab A, tab B, and this is a cluster table. Fine. As a consultant, whenever we are creating any table, we always deal with the transparent table. So remaining topics like what is data element domain, I will explain in the actual practical. So this was a short overview or introduction to ABAP data dictionary. Remaining all the objects, at the time of doing actual practical, I will explain. Fine. So next what I will do, I will log into SAP system and we'll see one standard table, that is Mara. And there we'll see what is the table columns, what is data element, what is domain. Fine. That we'll see in the next session. Thank you.